Is that a problem? Okay, you can join us later, maybe. I don't know. There's a technical problem. Okay.
Yes, sir. I have a problem with the internet.
Okay. Hello and welcome, our dear students. As you remember, we were discussing Chapter 6 or Unit 6 at George Yule's book, The Study of Language. And we classified, as you remember, we classified morphemes into, yes, we have a free and bound. Free morphemes and bound morphemes. And we said that, okay, for free morphemes, we have also two types of free morphemes. Two types of free morphemes. Lexical and functional. And we said that lexical morphemes, yes, those verbs, nouns, adjectives, okay, these are related to open class system. So we can add new words, new adjectives, new verbs, new nouns to the language. And for functional morphemes, no, they are fixed in language. They are conjunctions, pronouns, articles, adverbs. They are fixed in language. We cannot add new pronouns or new prepositions. They are fixed in language. Okay, bound morphemes are also subclassified into bound morphemes are are subclassified into derivational and inflectional morphemes. Okay, so bound morphemes, okay, are subclassified into derivational and inflectional morphemes. Yes, yes, I remember something. Those free morphemes, they can stand by themselves without the the need of well, let's say a help in this way, a help from the other morphemes. So, for example, the word open, or the verb bright, or the adjective clean. Okay, they can stand by themselves. Okay. While bound morphemes, no, they are bits of words. They are bits of words. Okay, so derivational morphemes, yes, we talked about derivational morphemes, okay, in the last chapter. And the last section was derivation, okay, how to create new words in the language. Okay, so we talked about derivation. Okay, and within derivation, we talked about, affixes. We have prefixes, infixes, and suffixes. So what's meant by derivational morphemes are those affixes, added to the beginning, maybe to the beginning of the words, or in the middle of words, or at the end of words. Okay, for example, we have here, like, for example, NES. For example, good is an adjective. Okay, I'll go back to the chat again. Just confirm you can see the presentation well. Can you see the presentation, please? Just say anything. Okay, you can see the presentation, and the sound is clear. Sound is clear.
No, the sound isn't clear.
Sound is not clear. What about the others? Maybe you have got a problem with the.
It is not clear, sir. It's disgusting. Because I think it's about the internet connection.
Okay, don't worry about the okay, the sound. The whole lecture is registered, and I'll post it inshallah on. But we have to have a lecture in anyway. Okay, some would say that the sound is clear, and others, okay, most of you say the sound is clear.
So it's about the connection, the internet connection. It's so bad, I think.
Okay, I'll go back to the lecture. I'll go back to the lecture. But you can see the presentation. You can see the presentation on the chat, please. Don't use the sound on the chat. Just write down. Okay, you can see the presentation. Okay, I'll go back to the presentation. Okay. Okay, I'll speak slowly so that maybe you can catch my sound. Okay, we said that derivational morphemes are those additives, okay, added maybe at the beginning of some words, or at the middle of some words, or at the end of some other words. Yes, for example, the word good is an adjective. By adding this suffix nes, okay, it will be a noun. Okay, so there's a change in the grammatical. They call it a change in grammatical category. Okay, I'll highlight this word, and if you have got your box, you can highlight it also. Okay, so when we add derivational morphemes, there will be a change in grammatical category. There's a change in grammatical category. Okay. For example, yes, careful, careless. Okay. Care, it's a noun. Careful, it will be an adjective. Or careless, an adjective. Okay. And we have a very small list here of some, yes, we have prefixes, for example, pre or re. For example, the word reopen, okay? Reopen. So there's a change in grammatical, maybe a different meaning or grammatical category. Okay, grammatical category. This is derivational morphemes. So what about inflectional morphemes? Inflectional morphemes are limited in the language, in the English, actually in the English language, okay, limited. So inflectional morphemes are combined or are, okay, listed in the following sentences, okay? Inflectional morphemes, okay, are listed or exemplified in the following sentences. Okay, I'll maybe just make it larger so that you can see. Okay. So we have, okay, morphemes added to the nouns. For example, we have this S with apostrophe. This is, okay, this is used to identify possession, okay, or possessiveness. Okay, yes, we have got this word, possession or possessiveness, okay? Owned, so these things are owned by the one whose S is attached to it. For example, Jim's two sisters. So the two sisters of Jim. So instead of saying this word, I can simply say Jim's two sisters. Okay. Also, here in sisters, okay, you have got this small s, this small s, this small s. This is also one of the inflectional morphemes. One of the inflectional morphemes to identify the plural form of nouns, the plural form of words or nouns simply. Yes, these are two. One likes to have fun and is always laughing. Okay, you have got this S, okay, to identify the third person singular. So when I start the sentence with the pronoun he, she, or it, okay, and I've got a main verb within the sentence, so this main verb should be linked with this S. Okay, so this S is called third person singular. Third person singular. So this S is attached. It's different from this S. Okay, this is to identify the plural form, but this one is used, okay, to identify the third person singular. And then you have got this ing, this ing. Okay. Yes, this ing is used or attached to verbs. Attached to verbs. Yes, to identify the continuous present tense. Continuous present tense. Okay. The other liked. You see this ed. This ed. Okay, to identify the past form of the verb. The past form of the verb. To read as a child and has always taken things seriously. You see this en, okay? This is used to identify the past participle form of the verb. The past participle form of the word. Of the verb. One is the loudest person in the house, and the other is quieter than a mouse. Okay, we have these are loudest and quieter. You see, these are two adjectives, but the first one is the superlative form of the adjective, and the other one is the comparative form of the adjective. Okay, so these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 in the English language. We have 8 inflectional morphemes in the English language only. We don't have any other inflectional morphemes. They are specific in number, to the opposite of derivational morphemes. Derivational morphemes. Okay, they are not specific in numbers. Okay, but this one, okay, is specific in numbers. Okay, we have just 8 inflectional morphemes in the English language. Okay. Yes, we have this very short diagram, maybe figure or diagram, you can whatever choose. Okay, so these are yes, these are the inflectional morphemes. Okay, with nouns we have just 2. With verb we have 4. Okay, we have 4. With adjective, okay, we have er and est. This is used to identify the comparative form of the adjective, and the other one, est, is used to identify the superlative form of the adjective. Okay, we'll move to another okay, morphological description. Morphological description. Okay, so we use these. Okay, these okay, maybe descriptions. Okay, for example, the free morphemes with the 2 types, that is the lexical and functional, and the other one, the bound morphemes, the derivational and the morphemes to describe sentences. For example, we have got this example. We have got this example. Okay, the child's wildness shocked the teachers. Okay, the child's wildness shocked the teachers. Okay, this is a one sentence. So we, instead of studying the whole sentence, we are going to cut the this sentence into its inner structures. For example, here it's a functional free. It's an article. It is a functional free morpheme. Child is a lexical free morpheme. S here, it is the yes, the possession. S for possession. It is inflectional bound morpheme. Wild, it is an adjective. Okay, it is an adjective. So it is a lexical free morpheme, and this NESS is attached to wild, so it is a derivational bound morpheme. Shock, it's a verb here. Shock, it's a lexical free morpheme, and you have this ed actually attached to the verb shocked. So ed here is the inflectional bound morpheme. There also an article here. It's a functional free morpheme. Teach, teacher. Okay, teacher. Yeah. Lexical free morpheme, and er here is a derivational bound morpheme, and this is with the plural to identify the plural form is inflectional bound morpheme. Okay, so for example, in some examinations, this is actually one of the sentences in in the past years, given as a question. Okay, and the students are asked to cut this sentence into its inner structures, morphological structures. So this is the way we cut the sentence into its morphological structure. Okay, and we have got this figure. This figure. I'll just magnify. Okay. So this is how to classify morphemes. This is how to classify morphemes. This was also a question in one of the past years. Okay, this was also a question. Okay, so you have got, okay, the question may be in this way: draw a figure, okay, identifying how to classify morphemes in the English language. So you just draw this figure. Okay, so morphemes are classified into free and bound. The free morphemes are also subclassified into lexical and functionals, and you can give here some examples to identify, okay, what's meant by those descriptions. Okay, so bound morphemes are also subclassified into derivational morphemes and inflectional morphemes. Okay, we'll move to another. Okay, problems and morphological description. Okay, the main idea here in this section is to say that, for example, it's not always that by adding s to some words I can get the plural form of words. For example, here, as you can see, the word cat. By adding the inflectional morpheme s, okay, I can get cats in the plural form, as the morphological description says. But in the language, we have unlimited words that they have irregular plural forms. For example, here you have got sheep is okay in the singular, and the plural form it is the same. Or for example, the word man, okay, the plural form of man is man, so we don't have s. For example, child, okay, by adding the suffix ren, children, and actually it is irregular plural form. Okay, I'll get the plural form of child, so it will be children. Okay, so here we have a problem. We have a problem in description. And the whole section is just to identify those problems. For example, also we have here another example. The morpheme al. For example, when we add this al to, for example, some words like the stem word institution. So I can get institutional. So al here is a derivational morpheme. Okay, so what about some words that end with legal? That is the Derivational, they are part of some words, structurally part of some words. So I cannot cut, okay? And for example, institution and institutional, there's a relation between those two words with, yes, actually different grammatical function, different grammatical category. Sorry, different grammatical category, not function, something else. Different grammatical category. For example, we have adjective, nouns, and verbs. Okay, by adding those derivational, okay, I can get the different grammatical category, but the function is something else. Okay, so AL here, by splitting this word legal into leg and AL, I cannot get the same word with the same meaning. Okay, for example, here institution and institutional, there is a relation in the word. Okay, by adding the AL, okay, derivational morpheme. But here with the word legal, I cannot split. It's part of the word. It's part of the word. So the morphological description is not always clear. We have some problems. So how to solve this problem? Actually, the answer is in the next section. The answer is the next. These are okay. This description actually is a relative. Why? It is just telling the student from where this problem have been brought to the language. Okay, it's related to the origin of language. Okay, it's the problem is related to the origin of the language. Okay, so how to solve this problem? By considering, sorry, just to magnify. Okay, how to solve the problem of morphological description? How to solve this problem? Okay, for example, here, for example, cats. Okay, we don't have a problem. We have cat plus the S plural. Okay, no problem. But for example, here we have bus. I have to add, instead of just S, I have to add ES. So instead of saying S plural, okay, I regard this addition as the plural form. Okay, I regard this instead of saying S for a plural, okay, I would say just plural. Why? We have different forms of plural. For example, child plus plural. So instead of saying S, we don't have childs in the plural form, childs in English. We have children. Okay. So child plus plural. This is the nearest to the mind. Okay, when we add child plus plural, okay, I will understand that I mean by the plural here because it is irregular. Because it's irregular. Yes, I'll say yes. child, child plus child plus plural. Okay. I think this example is enough. Why? Yes, we have many problems in this regard. Many problems in this regard. So instead of saying, for example, in some verbs, yes, in some verbs in the language, okay, it's not just simply by adding ed to the verb. For example, the verb write or speak, or for example, the verb cut. I cannot add ed to the verb. Why? It is irregular verb. For example, I cannot say righted. I cannot say righted. No. What should I do? I'll just say write plus past form. Okay. I'll just say write or cut plus past form to identify that this is irregular use of the language, okay, or morphological description. Okay, by this I'll stop here and I'll see some of your comments or questions. Okay, and I think this is the end of this chapter. Okay, if you have got a question, I'll go back to the chat. I'll go back to the chat. I'll go back to the chat. I'll go to the. Or by the way. Okay, what's left in this okay, other languages. Okay, it's not. It's irrelevant. Okay. You can just okay, write down irrelevant. Okay, it's not related to our study. Okay, it's for other languages. It is for other languages. So by this section we will end. Okay, we'll end this chapter. Okay, by this section we will end. What's left are, I think, 2 pages. Okay, they are related to other languages, and it's not relevant to our or irrelevant to our study. Okay, I'll go back to the chat to see if you have got a question. I'll give you just 2 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, if you have got a question. Okay, on the chat, please write down if you have got a question. Ahmed Naji, what do you mean by quick review to the chapter? Do you mean you need a quick review to the chapter? Again, please write down on the chat. Again, I don't understand. What do you mean? Quick review. You mean you want me to go back again to the and make a quick review for the whole chapter? Okay, I'll just make a quick review for the chapter. Okay, just confirm on the chat that you can hear me, or the sound is clear. Is the sound clear? You just write clear or not. Can you hear me? Just write clear or we can hear. And I'll go back to the description. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir. You just need to scroll down to see our comments.
Okay, I'll go back to the clear. Okay. I think I'll go to the figure. Maybe it summarizes the whole chapter. To the figure. Okay. Yes, we have said that what is morphology? Yes, we can define morphology as the study of basic forms. Morphology is the study of basic forms. For example, yes, we have this word, useful. Okay, it's one word in English, but in morphological description, there are two. It's composed of two elements or two items. It is use plus full. Use plus full. Okay. And what is a morpheme? A morpheme? Yes. What is a morpheme? I think we have a problem. Yes. What's a morpheme? A morpheme is the minimal unit. A morpheme is the minimal unit of meaning or grammatical function. And yes, we have just discussed this when we talked about the inflectional morphemes. So a morpheme is the minimal unit of meaning or grammatical function. Yes, we classified morphemes into two main types. We have free morphemes and the other one is bound morphemes. Okay. And we said that for the free morphemes, okay, they can stand by themselves. For example, adjectives, nouns, verbs, okay, they can stand by themselves. There's no need to attach any additives to these words so that they can stand by themselves. Free morphemes, they can stand by themselves. Okay. Free morphemes are also subclassified into lexical and functional. Okay. So lexical morphemes are mainly verbs, adjectives, and nouns, and they are related to open class words. So I can add new words, new verbs, new nouns, new adjectives into the language. But functional free morphemes, I cannot add new functional free morphemes to the language. Why? They are related to the closed class words. They are mainly pronouns, prepositions, articles, conjunctions, adverbs. So I cannot add new functional free morphemes. Okay. What about bound free morphemes? Bound free morphemes are also, yes, they cannot stand by themselves. They cannot, for example, okay, for example, ed. There's no meaning for ed or er or just s in the language. There's no meaning. Okay, they cannot stand by themselves. So bound morphemes are also subclassified into derivational morphemes and inflectional morphemes. Derivational morphemes, yes, we talked about this in the last chapter, that is, okay, word formation, and the last section was derivation or derivation. And mainly we discussed what's meant by those affixes. So we have the prefixes, infixes, and suffixes. What about inflectional morphemes? Okay, inflectional morphemes. Okay, so here in derivational morphemes, there's a change in grammatical category. So I can change the word from verb into a noun, or from verb into an adjective, or from a noun into an adjective, and vice versa, actually. Okay, what about inflectional morphemes? No, there is no change in the grammatical category. There is a change in the grammatical function. Okay, there's a change in the grammatical function. Okay, we have a limited number of inflectional bound morphemes in the English language. They are just 8. Okay, 2 are attached to nouns. Okay, 4 are attached to verbs, and 2 attached to adjective. Okay, I think by this we have to end our lecture. I'll go back to the chat to see if you have got any problem or anything to add. Again, do you have any question, any comment, or any remark, or anything to add? Okay, on the chat, please. Okay, just let me stop the